When I have a good relationship with my teacher, I'm more respectful and more kind, because like I know this person. Like, why would I be rude to them? Why would I not listen to them? So.
Well, it pretty much started like in the beginning of the year, like how they connected to us, like doing like activities on how like they wanted to learn more about us and like what were like our hobbies, what we liked. And after that, just having just respecting them, and they respected you back, and you just started liking them the way they treated you.
They can ask them a couple questions and ask them how they're doing, and it doesn't have to be necessarily about school, but it could be also about their personal life.
Get to know that kid. Get to know each individual kid to the best of your ability, because each kid has a story. Just like we each have a story of where we came from, so does the kid. And they have life experiences that you as a teacher may never have. So you can learn from them.
The growing diversity of the students we teach and the influence that relationships have on student learning means that we must use culturally responsive ways to reach each student, especially if their racial or cultural background is different from our own. We also know that teachers have fewer discipline problems when students view them as caring and involved. In this video, we share strategies from 2 high school teachers in Salem, Oregon. Both use perspective taking and empathy to build relationships with students from diverse cultural and racial backgrounds. Perspective taking skills help us understand what students are thinking or feeling in a given situation. It requires an understanding of their beliefs, attitudes, and personality, how they react in different situations, and their communication style. As educators, we should actively seek information from students to better understand their perspective and avoid misunderstandings that may harm relationships. Here are a few key things to remember when practicing perspective taking. Know your own perspectives. Be aware of how your attitudes, values, and experiences influence your opinions and actions. Show genuine interest in your students. Let them know that getting to know each of them as an individual is important. Ask students about their opinions, interests, and background. Listen to what students say and avoid making judgments.
Greet the students, say hello. Go out of your way to make them feel comfortable. And I always jokingly tell kids, because I do it all the time, but sometimes I can't be at that door, when they walk in and they say nothing to me. And I jokingly tell them, hey, you're entering my classroom, my room. This is kind of like my home. So just like our parents taught us, when you come into somebody's home, you greet them, you say hello, and if you don't know them, you introduce yourself to them. That's kind of what I want to do with my students. I want to start there. And as the year goes on, semesters pass, it's a constant check-in, like, hey, how is that going? Or what did you do this weekend? Oh, really? Tell me something about that. And I think they feel that. I think they honestly, I think they really do like those moments, even though they might make it feel awkward at times, or, give you a look like, why are you asking that? It's just showing them that you're interested in the relationship. And I think that's where everything takes off from. Yeah, it's just showing an interest in building a relationship with that person.
Building relationships, to me, it looks like sometimes starting with the most basic question. It could be, do you have any siblings? I'm the middle child, so I'll use that a lot. Like, oh, you're so lucky, you're an only child. But the reality is, you just have to be willing to be authentic. Nobody knows fakes better than teenagers. If you're asking a question that you don't care about the answer to, they know. And so they're gonna give you an answer that they don't care about either. And you can't connect with that.
Our cultural background influences how we communicate and act. Cultural differences can lead to misunderstandings and unnecessary discipline situations that may include removing a student from classroom instruction. Before disciplining a student, educators should find out if the situation is due to a cultural misunderstanding or a genuine discipline concern. Empathy is identifying with the point of view and feelings of another person. Compassion is actively reaching out to help. Both require knowing a student's perspectives and understanding how they are feeling. Here are some things to remember in these situations. Stay calm. Use empathy and active listening. Express care and concern about the student's feelings and tell them you want to help. Be aware of the students and your own nonverbal communication. Use a non-judgmental, solution-focused approach. Give yourself and the student time to reflect. Decide whether you should talk to the student privately.
I don't know, I like to just let them know that you're allowed to have this bad feeling. And right now, maybe you're not prepared and ready to engage with what we're doing. But as soon as you are, I'm ready to have you back. And as long as you're not taking away the opportunity from somebody else, feel free to be in this space. But make sure that when you're back and you're re-engaged. Yeah, I definitely have used that quite a bit in the last few years with students. Is just knowing that they come in, they're tired, they haven't slept, they didn't eat breakfast. There's all kinds of things that they deal with on a regular basis, and not trying to project that education is more important to them at that point goes a long way, right? Like, yeah, it is really important to be here and to do what we're asking you to do, but it's also important for you to like take care of yourself and feel comfortable doing that in my room. Can go a long way, yeah.
I constantly come back to just being transparent and just saying, okay, so I kind of thought this was what you meant, or this is where you're going, or this is where you're coming from, and either whatever's appropriate, either I'm sorry, I obviously didn't understand you correctly, or can you tell me a little bit more about what you meant by this? And so just being transparent and, okay, I'm lost here, you gotta help me out. And what did you mean by that? Or how does that work as soon as you leave the building? What does that look like for you at home? Or what does that look like over break?
But I think that when you're talking about dealing with kids at this point in the history of the world, you have to look at it differently, because these kids they're growing up differently. They're exposed to different things that past generations haven't been, and so I feel like our kids today really thrive on like what they would call realness, and they want to sense that the adults in their lives are sincere and that they're being genuine with them, and so I would just suggest being genuine, you know, and being quote unquote real with our students, and whatever that looks like to you, you know, apply that and see where it takes you, because I think it can go a long way.
For more information and resources from REL Northwest related to reducing discipline disparities and building a positive school climate, please visit our website. Operated by Education Northwest, REL Northwest is one of 10 regional educational laboratories funded by the U.S. Department of Education's Institute of Education Sciences.